drinking sea buckthorn juice here, which is a speciality of the area. You get it in a few places in Nepal, and it grows about 3,000 meters, and they harvest the berries and make this delicious, nutritious drink. Quite tart, but I like that. I don't like sweets so much, and I've got a stinking cold, so I'm hoping this is going to help that a little bit. But this is the little dining room here at Riverside. It's the second day of the Langtang Trek. I'm feeling a lot better today. I feel like I've got a bit of energy. I had the sea buckthorn juice this morning, which is very good tonic, full of vitamin C. And already got to the next little settlement here. I think they're called Woodlands. I think it's called Woodlands. Very nice spot. I've stayed here before. Another simple tea house in the forest by the river. Really lovely. It's a great day again. Completely clear, no cloud, and we're almost reaching the sun already at about 8 o'clock in the morning, so what a good day to come. Getting up to about 2,800 meters here, and the altitude you start getting these cedars. Beautiful, tall, straight. I think it's called Himalayan cedar, and it's magnificent. Gives another completely different character to the walk. Going up through these different vegetation zones. For me, it's much nicer than walking the whole time in open mountains or even barren mountains like some places. Just gives it another character. Remains of a little old sawmill in operation here. Taken one of these cedars and turned it into planks and beams. Using a chainsaw now, but I've seen them using a long big crosscut saw in the past, but now there's a few more chainsaws around, but they can get remarkably accurate cuts just by eye. Very skilled. They can do everything, these people. It's absolutely remarkable. They can build houses, they can grow food, they can carry huge loads up mountains. They're some of the best people in the world, I think. Another sawmilling operation. It's like windblown cedar here, and they've managed to convert it into all this building material. Then they have to carry it probably up the valley to where they're building, and I've seen people carrying kind of 6 of these beams before, which I've got no idea what it weighs. Must be 50-60 kilos in weight. perhaps they're going to leave it here to dry for a bit so it's lighter, but this is quite new. This is very recent. Lots of fresh sawdust. I mean, as a forester and a woodworker, I really like to see these things. And it's literally done on site where the tree fell, and all the sawdust will absorb back into the soil again. No waste. Any offcuts will be firewood. So it's about as sustainable a wood operation as you can possibly imagine. Now a new bridge. Maybe some of that wood is for the new bridge, and some more wood here. Probably use this for the bridge. Much closer. It's only 9:15 and we're already into this glorious morning sunshine. Still in this forest area. Going up steadily. This is absolutely divine. Getting out of the way for the mules. 4 mules this time. Going down empty. We've emerged from the forest into this kind of meadowy area with fantastic views of Langtang Trek, which I reckon must be 4,200 metres above where we are now. This is about 3,000. Langtang Trek is 7,200. So it's a big piece of mountain that we're looking at. Sure, these meadows in the past have been used for grazing cows or maybe even yaks, but maybe it's a little bit too low for yaks. But they're really pleasant places surrounded by trees, rhododendrons growing in them. I heard yesterday that the rhododendrons are struggling a bit in the valley because of disease, so lots of them have died. There's still a good selection here. Nice pink one. And here we are at the first, or the next village. Time for a cup of tea. Now coming into the area that was so badly devastated by the 2015 earthquake and the huge landslide that completely buried Langtang village and everybody that was in there at the time. And I was told that the wind created by the landslide was so violent that it actually stripped this forest on the other side of the valley here. You see all these dead standing trees, or trees that had foliage blasted off them, and it's not recovered yet. Probably will in time, but at the moment it still looks like a forest that's had a huge wind blow through it, so strong that it's stripped trees of the branches. So these forces of nature were just beyond imagining. First the earthquake itself, then the landslide, and then this wind that devastated the forest. Following on from the story about the forest being destroyed by the wind, I just heard that people were blown away as well, and there was one guide I was talking to, he said a guide friend of his just disappeared. They knew he was on this trail here somewhere and never found. Must have been blown away by the wind and just, yeah, never found. Also, gas cylinders were found on the other side of the valley. The wind was so strong it blew gas cylinders straight across the valley, and they were found in the forest. So must have been an absolutely terrifying incident, just beyond belief really. Hard to even imagine. I guess people didn't have much time. They didn't, it was probably only a few seconds between the earthquake and the landslide and the wind. Now we're continuing on to Langtang village. We'll be crossing the landslide which buried the old village, which is a very macabre place, knowing that there's people buried deep underneath this landslide. And there's memorials that I'd like to see to the people as well. It's a really lovely easy path now, this last section to Langtang village. Classic trekking path, mostly up, occasional small down, but keep gaining altitude all the time. It's just a pleasure to walk these paths, following the electric wires, which is fairly recent innovation here. I think Kanjeng Gompa had its own little hydroelectric scheme before. Here is the site of their former Langtang village, and this is the landslide. This is the rock that came down on top of the village, which is buried under here. And there is the new Langtang village, built in a safe place, away from the danger area. So it's chilling, a bit chilling to know that that rock was sitting there for thousands of years, just waiting, and it took the earthquake to trigger the landslide. Here's the new Langtang village, which is mostly rebuilt since the earthquake. Very poignant place. I mean, there must be a few old places on the edge of the landslide that survived, but it's mostly new. We booked into the Memorial Guest House, which is one of the first places in the village. A few spits of rain, quite chilly. We are 3,500 meters, so it's always cold really. I'm just going to have a little stroll around the village and see what I can find. The new Gompa in construction here. Looks beautiful. The painting on those pillars outside. It's going to be fantastic when it's finished.